Hey y'all, welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. Hope all of you are having an amazing day. I wanted to talk about people's thoughts and opinions post the reveal. Please let me know what your thoughts are on Edge of Fate and Renegades, but we're going to talk about some of the Renegades opinions and the controversial so far, let's just say, feedback on this next expansion or next expansion. As you may or may not know, Bungie is following a new format, having 2 expansions per year and having 2 free major updates. And we have Edge of Fate in July, and then we have Renegades in December. And Edge of Fate is going to follow us go to this new location known as Kepler, and it's going to really be along with the 9 secrets, very mysterious. Again, this is the start of the new saga, the Fate Saga, and a lot of those elements are going to carry through into the Ash and Iron major update in the fall, which will bring us to the Plague Lands, and we'll get new weapons, new exotics. We'll go back to that destination, and then we are going to go to whatever Renegades is going to bring. And there has been a lot of thoughts and opinions tossed around on Renegades all over social media since the reveal wrapped up. Is that this sort of expansion's theme is very different from Edge of Fate, but it's going to be more on the Star Wars-esque sort of theme. Literally, the bio says in the game, if you want to look, it says, quote unquote, dive into the criminal underworld and take down an evil empire. Venture into a lawless frontier and reveal deeper mysteries about a new Dredgen and Soul. Build your power, credits, and notoriety. This is very interesting because this has literally the exact same, almost, basically, very same-esque element to Star Wars, if you don't know. You know, Star Wars is all about this very cool sci-fi adventure. Everyone knows about it. If you don't know, I don't know what you're doing, but it's definitely out there as one of the biggest franchises. And Lucasfilm will be collaborating with Bungie on Renegades coming out in December. And a lot of people are mixed about it. And I'm also a bit mixed because, one, I understand you gotta, that this was one of the biggest influences, I think, for Destiny when Destiny was being built up. This was one of the games. I think during the time when Destiny came out in 2014, we had Battlefront. And a lot of people love Star Wars games. I played them. Destiny was definitely one of those games where I was like, wow, this does somewhat feel like Star Wars, but it's, again, it's its own different thing. But it did have a lot of influence. So to see that we're getting these collaborations, we got Heresy collaboration with Star Wars earlier a couple months ago. And now we just got a huge other collab with the pre-order bonuses that's even bigger. And now we're getting an expansion tied with Lucasfilm. There's a lot. We have Fortnite right now with their own Star Wars huge season. So Star Wars is really, going into the gaming industry. And I was talking with friends with the reveal, a lot of them are mixed about it. They think it's just a cash grab, and they think either that this is just going to be a way to get people's money, and that it, one, will not be a story that will actually enhance the narrative or, deepen up the narrative of this new saga. Again, these expansions are really important because already they revealed that we're getting another 2 expansions in 2026, and that those will carry the Edge of Fate narrative even further. And there's a lot of mysteries, and there's going to be a lot of connections between this and Edge of Fate, obviously, because that will be the first story in the saga. And we won't find a lot of those answers. We will be left with more questions, as they say, in the reveal. And Renegades is going to have to be this next major drop where players are likely going to want something in that narrative. And Renegades is looking a bit more Star Wars than this Fate Saga-esque expansion. Don't get me wrong. Another chunk of people, and some part of me, love this idea. Because who doesn't love Star Wars? I love the Jedi Survivor games. I try to play them every year at Christmas time. Star Wars games, those were the big things I used to play before Destiny, and I still do it today. And even then, I am very excited to be a Darth Vader Titan skin in the Crucible. I'm just a bit worried on how this will really be, because we obviously are going to get new characters in these stories, and we're going to get our old returning characters, and we're going to have tons of themes and tons of aspects of this that might make it feel like we're playing a different game than actually Destiny. And people don't want that. People want Destiny. They want to play more Destiny. They don't want this to be like a collab. but I've been seeing reveals, I've been seeing people's reactions. People are not really excited on the idea, and then half of them are more excited on the idea of Renegades being a Star Wars expansion over Edge of Fate, which people are really not excited for. This also brings back to how Renegades is actually a bit more hyped for a lot of people, because Edge of Fate looks like to be just another simple expansion. There was no big reveal yet. Again, we got to give it time, but Beyond Light had Stasis, Witch Queen had Light 3.0, Lightfall had Strand, Final Shape had Prismatic, and this person states that they, you know what I mean, there's nothing that has really, made this expansion sort of solidify as this next big expansion. Obviously, we have to keep account that we're only going to get 2 minor-sized expansions, but are we going to get some big update to maybe our light subclasses, or are we going to get something huge that we can actually be like, oh, I love this idea? We don't know yet. So there's a lot of feedback being tossed around that Renegades is sort of just going to be the Star Wars fanfare-esque expansion, and that there's going to be a lot of, collapse with weapons, armor, maybe even a subclass or something, and people are just going to be like that this is just a collaboration expansion, and that's it. And that's how we should feel about it, and if you don't play it, then you don't play it. I'm mixed on the idea. I feel like there's a lot of people dragging their thoughts out saying that this is a bad idea. Let me know your thoughts. Obviously, I wanted to talk about it because I feel like I've been seeing it everywhere. We don't know how Renegades is going to work out. Obviously, there's so much time between now and then. We have the reveal in September of Renegades, but if it's going to have a lot of activities, and if they're going to have their own narrative, but it won't be exact word for word Star Wars completely, people might find the idea more appealing, or people might like the idea that it should just be a fun little adventure into the Star Wars sort of universe-esque. Obviously, will it be fully Star Wars? No. But, I just want to put it out there. It's going to have a lot of similar, maybe, elements that drew from it. So we got to put that out there. And I am very interested to see what Bungie says about this. I don't know what people are saying about it now, but it's definitely going to be a long conversation until now and then. But I am very excited to see this in some way or another. I'm very excited to see how Edge of Fate goes, because I feel like we should put our whole focus on right now Ride of the 9 and Edge of Fate, because that's really going to heavily rely on the 9. I don't know about Renegades right now because it looks not 9 related, but again, time will tell. I'm likely seeing the Drifter be, though, a character in this expansion, no doubt. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on everything with the reveal. I'd love to hear about it. And yeah, we are going to try to get as many videos as we can going into these next couple days. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.